morning, folks. Welcome to B2B Breakfast to Business with Team Asia. I'm Bea Lim, Managing Director of Team Asia and your morning companion from here on out. I hope you guys all had a very restful and wonderful weekend doing your favorite things, your favorite passion projects, really taking a breather from work and getting all of the energy that you can muster for the week ahead. I also wish you guys were able to check out the episode that we had last week that was all about how brands and individuals like yourself can deal with crisis, right? I know we are in a crisis right now, and it's so important to be able to see what we can do to get out of a crisis with positivity, with optimism, and with creative solutions. So now that you know how to deal with crisis, and as we also see ourselves actually slowly exiting the quarantine period or the lockdown period, we're also looking at, means and ways for us to go back to have some sense of normalcy, right? And we wanted to actually take a look back on our lives during the quarantine period and how people and brands have kept themselves busy during the ECQ or the Enhanced Community Quarantine. As such, we have compiled actually some pop culture and business trends that we observed during the quarantine period. And this episode is going to be titled Quarantrends. Now, if you haven't seen that, check it out. Quarantrends has been something that people have been saying. These are the trends that we've been seeing during the lockdown or during the quarantine period. And what we wanted to share was not only what we've read from a couple of articles and what people are saying, but we've also actually scanned social media, our own individual feeds, and really looking at what people have been busy with or what people have been sharing online and coming up with like a list of what these quarantrends are. And we have 7. We were able to come up with 7 quarantrends that we've really seen an emergence on, and we'd like to share this with you. And I'll be like referencing a couple of other articles that you can check out if you want to go deeper into that. But of course, I'm sure guys, your own quarantrends, you see your feed, you've been doing it. So actually, before I even start giving you the list, I want to encourage you guys to type out what those quarantrends are. Let us know about it. Comment on our social media comment sections and let us know what you feel those quarantrends are. We would love to know that, and who knows, it might just be the topic of our next B2B episode. Now, let's go into these trends that swept the online world during the quarantine period. And let us begin with the rise of TikTok. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done it, I'm sure you've watched it. I am sure that you've seen someone do it and that you have probably been, coerced to do it yourself as well. So TikTok is a social networking application initially founded in China in 2016 and quickly rose to stardom amongst millennials and the general younger population. So by 2018, the app garnered even more popularity, with it being named actually as the 7th most downloaded mobile app of the decade in 2019, which is between 2010 to 2019. And this was actually from Forbes magazine, so check that out. TikTok is transcending generations. Until recently, TikTok was mainly thought of as a younger person's app or a younger person's game, but no. Since the quarantine, we have seen so many different generations into the app. The app shot to global popularity thanks to millions of teens and young people who flocked to its endless, addictive feed of short user-made videos. So I'm not sure if you guys know this, but the World Health Organization actually partnered with TikTok to create a public page that provides people with trustworthy information during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the Philippines, some have been using the platform also to spread awareness about COVID-19. Actually, if you guys want to know, please check out DOH TikTok Dance Challenge. And because this challenge actually promoted good vibes to beat the lockdown blues. If you want to know more, see TikTok PH. Now, why do I think that there was a sudden surge on TikTok? I have to say, I am not on TikTok, but I am a person who does read a lot about it, and I do see my friends and family on TikTok, and I get a high out of it. I believe that TikTok had a sudden hit during the quarantine period because during the quarantine, we have craved so much for social interaction. Being in a platform where others are is a way to satisfy that craving. Plus, guys, it's fun. In a time where things are dreary and stressful, we want some form of relief, right? And what better way to get that than to shake it off while learning some dance moves, right? And I was also asked, what's my opinion in it being a marketing tool? Well, you know what, guys? As a marketing tool, I believe that TikTok or being on any social platform where your audience is a good idea. But you also have to never, ever, ever forget to stay true to your brand. Don't change who you are because of the platform. Make the platform work for you. So if you feel that your brand is in that space, if you feel that you guys can come up with a dance challenge or an advocacy or, just a shout out to the people who are supporting your brand and the like, and it is going to be good on TikTok, then be there. The best part about this quarantine period is that there is a space where brands and people can meet and actually have more meaningful interactions with one another. So take the chance and look into means and ways that you can use the platform to connect with your audiences. Now, that's TikTok for you. Let's go to the second trend. And this one, I have to say, has been an interesting journey for me. And it's none other than Dalgona coffee. Cooking is the internet's latest flex during the quarantine period. You'll find loads of handy online recipes for food that don't require plenty of ingredients. And one such example is the Dalgona coffee, right? It is a layer of foamy coffee mixture topped over milk. So it's a South Korean trend that's exploded worldwide on Facebook, Instagram, and you guessed it, on TikTok. With only 4 ingredients, which is hot water, sugar, instant coffee, and milk, it's a fun and easy way to pass some time over breakfast or your merienda or, over the weekend. Now, it has surged in popularity over TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram with users all over the world, showing photos or showing videos of how to make it or, how they're flexing their Dalgona coffee muscles, right? And really showcasing this, I have to say, beautiful eye candy, right? And it has really gone viral the past couple of days. But why is it part of our quarantine trend, right? I believe the secret behind this tremendous interest in Dalgona coffee is being able to make something that will, number one, make you proud of yourself because you're beating and whipping a lot of coffee and mixtures and to create that beautiful looking coffee, right? Number 2, make you happy because not only are you making something beautiful and great, you're drinking something that you like and that you get a high out of it because number 3, you can connect on with people on social media by posting your Dalgona coffee, pictures and videos and the like, and people are gonna comment on it. People are saying, "Hey, I'm one with you." Like I've done that as well. So technically, Dalgona coffee, for me, has really brought a lot of people together. People who love coffee or people who love the Korean Hallyu wave. People who just love food and curious things on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. And everybody coming together for it, right? So I like my coffee black, no cream, no sugar. And just a side note, shout out to Sponge Cola and one of their latest hits with the same title. That's how I love my coffee. That's how I take it every morning. So since I'm not particularly into Dalgona coffee, I went to Instagram to ask folks about it. And here are some things that people had to say about Dalgona coffee. Number 1, it's cool. It's cool to make. It's eye candy, it's super sweet, it's super delicious for some, and it's cute coffee, right? It's cute coffee. But there are also folks who say that it's just coffee, right? It's coffee, but it's too sweet. And if you like your coffee, strong and simple, you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to whip or beat, your coffee into looking that great, right? So one of the most interesting things, though, that a good friend of mine said, and I absolutely loved how he described Dalgona coffee in my Instagram post, and he said that Dalgona coffee, the sweetness or the taste of it is out of this world. It's too sweet. But it's also the effort. The effort is also out of this world. It's like being in the friend zone and you make such huge efforts to get out of it or to move past the friend zone, but you're still in it. You're trying and trying to make things different, but at the end of the day, it's sweet, it's whipped, it's beaten, and that's what it is. So it's sweet coffee, but beaten to a pulp to make it look very beautiful and an eye candy. So yes, it's cute coffee with a twist. But, more interestingly so is not about why people like Dalgona coffee or why people are doing it, but what is behind this Dalgona coffee trend. What do trends like this reveal about changing interests and behaviors of consumers? For me, Dalgona coffee may just be coffee, right? But what it says about people is that people are curious and interested in doing things that are different, that are next level, so they can spice things up, so that they can connect with other people who are doing it, so that they can say, I did it too. So coffee is coffee is coffee, but people are able to level it up. People are able to bring it to the next level experience by making something beautiful, by making something that's cool, by making something that's like an eye candy for everybody else to see. And that, my friends, is what I feel or think about Dalgona coffee. Which brings me actually to the number 3 trend, which is cooking. The next trend is really all about cooking. I have never seen my feed so full of photos of folks making ube pandesal, their sourdough, starter kit, Michelin-starred dishes with plating, mind you, or their own rendition of their favorite restaurant dish because they simply can't do it or they simply can't get it. This quarantine period has actually made the biggest generation of chefs at home. And I believe that this says a lot about consumers as well. In the face of adversity, we all turn to our creative self and see, what can I do? What can we do? And we realize that we can actually do it. We can cook, right? A lot of people say that, cooking is not for them or it takes a lot of effort or they just don't have all of the ingredients. But what this quarantine has actually made us do or made us realize is that for us to survive, we need food. But for us to make the best out of the situation, we want good food. We need to create good food. We need to make ourselves feel better. And food is always, always, always a good idea. And so we realize we have all become chefs and we can proudly say, look, Ma, I can cook. And the next quarantine trend actually is very much related to Dalgona coffee and that everybody has become a home chef, right? And that is fitness. Because to burn off all of those delicious meals we are either buying, making, baking, and all that jazz, we turn to fitness to make sure that we keep ourselves fit and healthy. The second biggest thing that I see on my feed are body transformation photos and or inspirational and motivational quotes on loving your body and turning to fitness to keep you healthy, strong, and positive throughout the pandemic. I talked to a lot of my friends who got into fitness, and the consensus really is that we are in a place, ladies and gentlemen, where things are so uncertain, are scary, and the like, right? But having a routine will always give us some sense of normalcy. And that's what people have gone to fitness for. The fitness thing gives you that boost of energy, that positivity to get you through tough times. I myself have been able to deepen my yoga practice, clocking in yoga time every day. That's a first for me, and I even clock even more time during the weekends, which I would not have been able to do if things were quote and unquote normal. What I actually realized is that I turned traffic time or time being stuck in traffic into meditation and yoga. And while it has helped keep me sane and zen and balanced, right? The yoga actually has also provided me a fitness routine that I'm able to say that I feel good about my body, I feel stronger, and I feel more positive because of what I'm doing. So I see that, the fourth quarantine trend, fitness, is not all about just transforming your body into looking great, right? It is all about also being proud of, number one, what you're doing, being able to look into yourself and say that you are actually stronger that you have more positive energy through your body or through that fitness routine, and that you are able to share that good vibe, that good positive energy with people that you interact with. Because, of course, fitness gives you a whole lot of great endorphins that, does translate into great positive energy that everybody really needs right now. So that is the fourth quarantine, ladies and gentlemen, fitness. Everybody now is into fitness. Now, number 5 on the list, and I know that we sort of already said this in one of the episodes way back into our top picks, but it is true, and it is really such a huge trend during the quarantine, is crash landing on the Hallyu craze. So they call it Hallyu. It's the Korean wave, the idea that South Korean pop culture has grown in prominence to become a major driver of global culture, seen in everything from K-drama on Netflix to Korean skincare regimens dominating the cosmetics industry to delicious Korean food, like, Korean tacos on your favorite local menu. And at the heart of Hallyu is the ever-growing popularity of K-pop, right? Which is, of course, Korean pop music. Now, let's talk about Chloe and ECQ. According to GMA News Online, Crash Landing on You didn't just make history by becoming South Korean TV channel's highest rated show ever. It has taken the hearts and souls of Filipinos everywhere, right? It's become so popular in the country that it's made fanboys and fangirls of local celebrities who took the time to, even play piano covers of one of the series' popular songs, or look into memes about Chloe, or even using Chloe's popular lines in their everyday stuff or everyday conversations, right? We've seen it as the number one choice on Netflix. It's also being emailed to you as as a suggestion or recommendation for the next series you're gonna look at. And I have to say that I have been very surprised at who have been, watching Crash Landing on You. And that includes me. I have never thought that I would be into K-drama. And then Chloe happened. And I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I finished that series in a week. But why the sudden urge of Chloe or Crash Landing on You, as well as the Hallyu craze in the Philippines? I really believe that, number one, if it were about the storytelling, people are wanting to think about something else. People want to escape into another world where, they can enjoy the storytelling, that they can enjoy other themes that are not about the pandemic, which is actually what we see on our screens every single day. But aside from wanting to know and be romanticized with the storyline, it's also about the fun moments, the humor, the different characters that come together to make this a very compelling story. And we want stories that compel, that are compelling. We want stories that are meaningful. We want stories that we relate to, right? And this has helped us actually deal with the quarantine period because it has provided an escape where we can go, where we can enjoy a different kind of storyline and, really get kilig over what's going on and technically to have fun, right? And I feel that aside from just Crash Landing on You, K-pop or the Hallyu craze or South Korean pop culture allows for folks to have fun. It's so vibrant. It's so fun. It's so inclusive that you feel that when you turn to it, there is that sense of positivity and great energy that people can learn and share. Now, on to the next, though, quarantine trend, which is our sixth one, is really also about social interaction. Now, as you can see, most of the quarantine trends that I've shared with you, I feel that they have become popular because people want to continue interacting despite being limited to physical or social distancing during this time. And number 6 on our list really is the emergence of virtual communities. That's right. Teleconferencing saves the day. As more organizations or companies turn into a work-from-home setup or remote working environments, collaborative tools and platforms have become very instrumental to businesses. And teleconferencing apps became overnight darlings. According to TechWire Asia, of the work from home scene, instantly becoming celebrities in the world of tech solutions, right? One of such companies is, of course, Zoom, which saw a huge spike in users going from about 10 million in December 2019 to over 200 million individuals per day by March 2020. I cannot tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how many Zoom calls I am on every day. I mean, I know that Zoom also had a bit of a mini crisis, the past couple of weeks as well because of the huge spike of users on Zoom. There were also certain things that happened or that came out, like security deficiencies and encryption shortcomings. But at the same time, it has also pushed the company to look into means and ways to keep those connections secure. Because, ladies and gentlemen, with this work from home setup, teleconferencing is the way to go. This is the way that we can continue conducting our business, continue conducting not only our meetings with business partners and the like, but also keeping ourselves connected with our friends and family from all over the world because of COVID and our need to physically distance ourselves with each other. In the Philippines, though, local startup live stream platform Kumu has also seen a growing interest in building its own virtual community during this period. So for those of you guys who don't know, check it out. Kumu is super mega awesome. Kumu is a powerful live stream platform that prioritizes the voices of over 100 million Filipinos around the world. And you can get paid actually becoming a live streamer, win cash prizes by playing live game shows, and make money by participating in various promotions run on Kumu. Or you can just hang out and explore the many live streaming in the community and meet really great people as well. Now, I've been very honored to have moderated a couple of IMAP, that's the Internet Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines. I've been very honored to have moderated a couple of the webinars on the new normal on the Kumu platform, and it has been a fantastic way to interact with people. It's a different way of having a conversation about what's going on during the pandemic, whether it's affecting our personal lives or our businesses. And Kumu has provided a platform where it keeps things creative, it keeps things authentic, and it's really a nice way of reaching your audience in a meaningful and interactive, engaging way. I also super love that Kumu supports the battle against COVID. Their online music fest actually raised about 800,000 for pandemic beneficiaries. And this has actually really been able to help our frontliners and those affected by this pandemic. And that's such a beautiful way of getting your community together and providing not only entertainment and relief for wanting to interact with each other socially, but it's also about being able to say, hey, you know what, guys, we're all in this together. You're not alone. We're all in this pandemic, and let's stay together. Let's grow this virtual community so that we can connect, so that you don't feel alone, and that we can tackle the new normal or the future reimagined together. Now, for me, teleconferencing is going to be the future of work, right? Teleconferencing, guys, is here to stay. I'm not seeing that this is going to go away anytime soon. With our shift to business operations in the new normal or the future reimagined, we're seeing that we still have to be physically distancing ourselves from one another for safety precautions. So I believe that teleconferencing is a means for us to continue with our operations and interacting with our business partners, our communities, our friends, and our loved ones. And this is here to stay, right? And last but definitely not the least, in terms of our Quarantrends, is actually more about connections. Connections, and even more connections. I have seen a lot of people really stepping up, becoming more resourceful and creative and innovative on means and ways to connect with one another. Whether it's coming up with different apps like House Party or different digital platforms to continue having meaningful conversations with audiences or people you connect with. People are just looking at ways to say, hey, you know what, COVID-19 may be happening and we may have to physically distance ourselves from one another, but we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let COVID-19 dampen our moods. We're not going to let COVID-19 stop us from interacting, sharing positive and great news, and continue having virtual communities. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been my favorite Quarantrend, is seeing people really make an effort to continue connecting with one another. And that's actually the reason why B2B, or this Breakfast to Business podcast, was born. We wanted to make sure that we continue having that channel, that way to be able to connect with you guys and have these authentic conversations, these real conversations, to say, you know what, we are going through one of the most challenging times of our shared history, and you know what, we're going to make the best out of it. We're also seeing a lot of virtual communities going through digital events, digital experiences, learning how to pivot services that we thought were really meant for face-to-face, but we have seen how we could actually make technology and digital work for us and continue connecting with one another and making the most out of this dire situation. And actually, we do have episodes coming up on how we've been able to pivot virtual experiences or experiences in the digital space. So please check that out, because we really do believe that this is not only a fad, this is not only a trend, this is the future, ladies and gentlemen, and we're so excited in terms of seeing it. So there you have it, guys, the Quarantrends, the 7 Quarantrends that we've been able to see through our feeds, through various different articles out there. And this is what we see have been, really what's keeping people busy during this quarantine period. So again, just to sum it up, number 1, TikTok. Number 2, Dalgona Coffee. Number 3, people are cooking. Number 4, people are keeping themselves fit and sane. Number 5, people are really going into this Hallyu craze and crash landing on you. Number 6 is definitely teleconferencing and the rise of virtual communities. And number 7 is looking for means and ways to continue connecting, because we are not going to let this COVID-19 stop us from making the world a better, safer, and more interactive world. Guys, we've entered a new phase of the world. It's scary, it's uncertain, and we're still looking for means and ways to keep ourselves safe from this COVID-19 pandemic, right? But on the flip side, though, it is exciting to see where this goes. There have been so many different Quarantrends, so to speak. And the question really is, are these just fads, or is it the new norm? My take here, guys, is I don't know. It's just so beautiful to see how, despite what's going on out there, people are showing their creative sides and making the most of the situation. People have become innovative, people have become more positive, people have become more resourceful, and that makes all the difference. I want to go back to an African proverb that I think I already shared with you guys before. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And that is not, cannot be any more true than what's going on now. People are coming together to look for means and ways to sally forth, be awesome, and continue connecting with one another, because we have strength in numbers. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, our Quarantrends. I hope you guys were able to have fun dissecting the different Quarantrends with us. I'm sure you also have other Quarantrends in your mind, so please don't forget to type up those Quarantrends in the comment sections of this post. We really definitely want to hear from you. We want to make sure that we add your Quarantrends to our list, and who knows, we'll be talking about it soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of episode 8, which is on Quarantrends. Please stay tuned for our next episode. It's going to be very special, very amazing, and we're going to focus on mental health. Don't forget to like us on our social media accounts for updates. We are on Facebook, www.facebook.com/TeamAsiaPH. We're also on Instagram, so tag us at TeamAsiaPH. We are on LinkedIn, www.linkedin.com/company/TeamAsia. And of course, don't forget to check out our amazing website, www.teamasia.com. Well, that's it for me, folks. Happy Monday morning. Have a great week. See you next time, folks.